it's Liz Yuille. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me again today. And today, of course, is Saturday, which means it's Simple Stamping Saturday Day, if that makes sense. And I'm using the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. This is gorgeous. It comes as a bundle with 2 punches, one for each of the decorations. We'll come on to those in a bit. And some little filigrees. This is gorgeous, this holly and berries. There's a sort of smatter in the background. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, because there's boughs of holly. Merry Christmas and be jolly this season. So really lovely. It's a cling red rubber stamp set, and the simple stamping version that I've done is this, just using one of our white note cards and envelopes. And I hope you can see I've also used the Delicata inks. I've used the gold and the copper. I did check yesterday, so 2 days ago, three days ago, a while ago, that they were in stock, and they are. So if you haven't got them already, you probably want to get them sooner rather than later, because I don't think they're going to hang around long. And I've done a little stamping on the envelope as well. So let me show you how I've done this. I am just going to swap out one thing, but I wanted to show you the original first. And it's nothing major, but yeah. So white note card, it is pre-scored, it comes with envelopes, so you get 20 note cards, 20 envelopes. Oh, and while I remember, if you don't already subscribe, while you're watching, you can hit the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. So yes, they're pre-scored, they come in a pack of 20 note cards, 20 envelopes. Really great way to just get cards made, because they're a perfect size just for a small greeting. I'm using the Celestial Copper and the Golden Glitz inks, and I've already mounted up my stamps. I've mounted the Merry Christmas and Be Jolly This Season onto one block, so that they stamp in one piece, as it were. So I'm actually going to start with those, or with that, I suppose I should say, and I'm doing this in the copper. Now you want to make sure that the stamp is very well inked up. This is a pigment ink, so it's a bit like the Versamark in that it takes a while to dry, but it is gorgeous and a really quick way of getting some metallic onto your projects. You can, because, correct me if I'm wrong, it is water-based, yes, so you can also use it as a paint. And there's our Merry Christmas, Be Jolly This Season, so that's perfect. While I've got that ink out, I'm going to do the larger of the 2 ornaments. That's the word I'm looking for. Now you do get 2 of this shape ornament, but I'm using these 2 together so that they kind of go. This one is gorgeous. It goes with the matching papers, which are dreadfully difficult to keep in stock. They are incredibly popular. They are gorgeous. They're embossed in copper foil, but they seem to be in stock one minute and out of stock the next minute, certainly in Europe. So it is a question of, if you see them, grab them. So that's the copper. And then for the smaller ornament, I'm just going to just make sure I know where the crease is. Didn't stamp my copper one terribly straight, but it's fine. Actually, I need to keep that out. So that's those. I'm going to just set that aside, and I may blast it with a heat gun just to speed up the heating process, only because they do take a while to dry, and until they are dry, they will smudge. So just bear that in mind, but you can blast them with a heat gun to speed the process up. And I'm just popping this small ornament down in the bottom right hand corner of my envelope, and as I'm coming off the side of it, I've got a piece of scrap paper. So that's that. So really, really simple to use. So I'm going to come back and actually I'll finish this one off, and then I will, before I fold it, I will show you the other cards that I've made, so the 2 stepped up versions. Now on the original I used the basic black marker. I used this one specifically because you can buy them as an individual. I'm not convinced it's the right colour, so I've got Crumb Cake, which may or may not be the right colour. Let me see. No, I think I want Soft Suede. So let's grab Soft Suede instead. That's better. But I just thought that the black was a little too dark. Now, to get my lines straight, I'm going to line my card up on my grid paper. And then if I line up my ruler on my grid paper, my line will be straight. So that's how I've got my dangles. So again, just line this up with my grid paper. It doesn't have to be on a grid line, but just so that you can see that it's parallel to the grid lines. And then just draw your string in. And yeah, I think that's just a softer colour than the black. I don't know what you think, but as I say, I specifically used the black because you can buy it as an individual item, whereas the Soft Suede you buy as part of the neutrals set. So the stepped up versions, I've introduced some gold foil. I have gutted it, and then I've just got Whisper White, and I've used the 2 punches to punch out the ornaments, and I've added this as an extra. And then I've used some of the metallic thread, the silver metallic thread, as my dangles. And I've done a double length, knotted here, just so that it kind of all stays together, and then just stuck it on the back with tear and tape. And then I've used tear and tape to stick down the Whisper White onto the foil. And then for my more advanced still version, I've introduced the Pretty Peacock ink, paper rather, and this time I've got copper foil, and I've also put on some of the red rhinestones. You get 220 in this packet, and I thought it was just a nice little accent to add on, and I've put it on the ornaments and also on the dot for the J and just the curlicue of the Y for the sentiment. So there we go, those are the 2 stepped up versions. Hopefully this is near enough dry, but as I say, this is not something that is going to be instantly dry, so you can use your heat gun to speed the process up. Yeah, you see, I can see that there's some ink that's transferred across, but it will dry perfectly happily. You just need to give it a little bit of time. That's the same with all pigment inks. And then there we've got our little ornament there. So a really quick project for you today, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Let me know if you think the black or the Soft Suede works better. You know my view on it, but my view is just my view, so it would be good to hear your view as well. If you want this this stamp set and the stamps, it is bundled and you get both, not the stamps. If you want the stamp set and the punches, they are bundled and you get both punches in the bundle, and of course it saves you 10% on both the punches and the stamp set. Always worth looking out for bundles. Do remember to use the bundle code rather than the 2 individual codes, because it will charge you for the 2 individual items if you use the 2 individual codes. Now, cleaning up, I did try using my Simply Chamois, and it's great, but it did then mean that I was getting metallic on everything else. So I would just use a wet wipe. I've had these forever. I'm going to try and move away from them, but I'm using up what I've got. So just use a wet wipe and then you can finish off on your chamois or your Stampin' Scrub. But again, if you're using your Stampin' Scrub, I would still remove the excess. It's a bit like when you use the white craft. I wouldn't clean my white craft ink off on either my chamois or my Stampin' Scrub as the first thing, because it just gets really icky and gicky, and yeah, it makes it harder to clean up. But as I say, I will, once I've finished all my wet wipes, I will just be going over to microfiber cloths and just having those wet. But this cleans it up really nicely, ready for the next go. So thank you very much. As I say, if you don't already subscribe, it's in the bottom right hand corner. If you've enjoyed this project, please give it a thumbs up. Do remember that if you want to show me your version of this, you can always join my Crafty Hangout. It's the Old Stables Crafty Hangout. There is information on that on my Facebook group, my Facebook page rather, my business page. So you can just hop on there and then just join the group. Anyone can join. So yeah, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!